So on today's episode of Higher Aura Talks Recruitment, I'm joined by Holly Langley. How are you today, Holly?
I am very well, Connor. Thank you, and thank you for inviting me on.
Cool. And it's quite pertinent. We're talking at the moment. Last month was 10 years since I started in recruitment, and it's almost unrecognisable from what I experienced when I first joined. How have you seen the landscape change? How have things come on and progressed?
Well, it's a really interesting question, actually. Nobody was really bothered about the system. There were more spreadsheets than you could handle, and fundamentally, you had a CRM, 2 or 3 job boards maybe, LinkedIn Recruiter and a phone system, and that was kind of it. Whereas now that's completely transformed, and I see a standard business having anywhere between 14 and 20 different pieces of tech within their business. So the tech piece has entirely changed. Therefore, the job of the recruiter has also changed. So we need consultants now who get and understand data, who are good at inputting that and are kind of tech savvy. They've not got to be extraordinary at it, but they've got to understand it and have the capacity to manage it so that their results are right, the automations work, the AI works. And yeah, so not only has recruitment changed, but the 100% the role of a recruiter has as well.
When you're engaged by a business, how do you go about identifying and potentially automating the time-consuming processes to actually move the needle and prioritise spend from there?
So for me, quick wins and ROI, normally in the results of GP or time saving, is 100% the way forward, because there's no point spending 3 days on one automation workflow that may never get a response. I'd rather do 10 that they're going to get responses and actions out.
The modern recruiter, as well as being good on the phone, good face-to-face, has to be good with the CRM. How important is it to capture data accurately, to capture metrics accurately, and why?
On Bullhorn, which is the main CRM that I work on, and I know the majority of other agencies of CRMs are the same. There is tools out there now, and this is going to become even more prevalent in the next probably 6 to 12 months, that you can automatically match candidates to jobs. So unless the systems and the data match up, it's not going to work. When this does work, you can add on a job, the system's going to match candidates, you make your cup of coffee and get ready, you've come back to your desk 5 minutes later, you've got 50 candidates shortlisted. You can call those. And actually out of that, 30 of them are all going to be available. So it is really going to be really important and to get this up to date so that your AI and future automations work.
Yeah, and we're talking about it from like the candidate attraction side, but it's just as important with like business development. I think it's so easy as a consultant to pull the wool over your eyes and say, I've got 80 jobs live. Are those jobs actually live?
So at the market is particularly hard. So you do need to drill down into things. So you need to look at, right, well, placements aren't great at the moment. The problem isn't CVs and interviews. We need to focus on jobs. Okay, so actually we're not set up from a BD point of view. We haven't got a strong enough BD process. It's all of that, and it all comes back together. So having that visibility of the end-to-end cycle is so useful to make improvements, and it's why we're here. And you can be using the other data, e.g., how many BD calls, spec CVs you've sent out, check-ins, meetings, as other metrics. If you're fundamentally not making as placements as we would like, you can still prove and showcase that your activity is where it needs to be.
When you're talking to a client about rolling out new tech or rolling out a piece of tech or rolling out new automation or even changing a process in terms of how they capture data, what are the challenges you face in the adoption of a rollout, and what are the workarounds you found?
So pick your tech wisely and make sure that the team are going to understand the benefits from it. They may already know them. If not, you're going to have to educate them on that. The longer you can make the process and get a few of the maybe more senior people or any tech champions brought into the onboarding process and the buying process, that can potentially help just make sure that uptake is there. And then when it comes to the training, you need to make sure it's bespoke.
What's the key needle movers?
Use the tech that you have. Buy the tech that you think is going to add value, and or use automations that is going to add value, save time, and give you the results that you need. I have a bit of a theory that I'll share with you. Because someone asked me a few weeks ago, they said, Holly, what do you see the top billers do? The top billers I see within recruitment businesses ask me questions or ask providers questions because they want more. They always want the products to do more because they realize that this is going to be the future of their billing. If you're a recruiter and you want to be a top biller, be really inquisitive, ask questions, and make sure that you're getting what you need to grow your revenue even more.